Imagine a freezing winter night. A scruffy dog walks into a hospital, carrying something unthinkable in its mouth. A baby's diaper. Panic sets in as the staff wonders, did it hurt the baby? But one young nurse, Anna, notices something strange in the dog's pleading eyes. This wasn't a wild animal to fear. It was a guardian seeking help. What happens next will leave you speechless. A discovery so chilling, it changes everything. Anna, a young nurse, exhausted by her demanding night shift, moved wearily through the dim hospital corridors. Suddenly, a scruffy dog emerged from the shadows near the entrance, its matted fur and grimy appearance contrasting sharply with the sterile environment. Clenched in its jaws was something that made Anna's heart skip. A baby's diaper. As panic spread among the staff, one nurse gasped, "Did it eat the baby?" But Anna saw something different in the dog's dark, pleading eyes. This wasn't a wild animal to fear. It was asking for help. The dog tugged insistently at Anna's sleeve, urging her to follow. Overcoming her fear and curiosity, Anna stepped outside into the freezing winter night, the cold air biting at her skin. The dog led her to the hospital gates, where Anna discovered a tiny, pale baby lying on the icy ground, barely breathing. And wrapped in a thin blanket, her heart raced as she shouted for help. But even before the others arrived, Anna had already cradled the fragile infant in her coat. The dog, pacing anxiously nearby, seemed more than a mere stray. It was a guardian. Back in the hospital, the doctors worked to stabilize the baby, and Anna couldn't ignore the dog's unwavering presence. Despite hospital rules, she allowed the dog to stay, sensing its connection to the baby. The days that followed were filled with questions. Where had the baby come from? Who were its parents? And why had the dog brought it to this hospital? The dog, which Anna named Max, never left her side, as if it too was searching for answers. One cold evening, Max led Anna to an abandoned building on the city's edge. Inside, amidst the crumbling walls and eerie silence, they found a frail woman huddled under a pile of blankets. Anna instantly knew she was the baby's mother. The woman, Evelyn, confessed through tears that she had been unable to care for her child. Life on the streets had left her hopeless, and in her desperation, she had entrusted Max, her loyal dog, to take the baby somewhere safe. Anna was overwhelmed by Evelyn's story and the unshakable bond between her and Max. It wasn't just a dog. It was her protector, her partner in survival, and now the baby's savior. Though Anna couldn't understand it fully, she felt a deep connection to Max and Evelyn, knowing this encounter had forever changed her life. "Hune had always been by our side, even when everyone else abandoned us," Evelyn confessed, her voice trembling as she spoke about her life on the streets. She recounted the moments of despair that led her to the unthinkable, entrusting her son to Max, believing she had no other choice. Anna listened quietly, her heart aching with compassion for this broken woman. Though she had never faced such extreme hardships, Evelyn's story resonated with her, stirring a deep empathy rooted in her own experiences of loss and sacrifice. Evelyn's teary eyes met Anna's. "I just want him to be okay," she whispered, her voice cracking. "I don't care what happens to me. Don't—" A lump rose in Anna's throat. "He's safe," she replied softly, "and I promise I'll do everything I can to help you see him again." For the first time in years, a faint smile broke through Evelyn's despair, a fragile glimmer of hope. Max, ever watchful, moved closer and rested his head on Evelyn's lap, offering a silent comfort words could never convey. Anna helped Evelyn to her feet, her frail body still trembling with weakness. With Max faithfully by her side, they made their way to the hospital. The cold, sterile lights of the building sterilely contrasted with the warmth that had begun to stir in Evelyn's heart. Though utterly exhausted, she clung to the spark of hope, a feeling she thought she had lost forever. For Evelyn, the hospital symbolized a boundary between suffering and redemption. For Anna, it had become more than a workplace. It now embodied the mystery and fragile connections that had started to define her life. As Evelyn lay back on the gurney, the doctors began their examination. Max quietly sat near the door, his eyes never leaving her, as though he understood the stakes. Anna stood nearby, unable to look away from Evelyn's face, worn and weary, yet strangely familiar. Something in those eyes stirred memories deep within Anna, memories she thought she had buried long ago. Anna felt her stomach tighten as the truth hit her. Evelyn had spent years thinking Jack had abandoned her without a word. while the real story had been hidden by Mike's selfish actions. Anna closed the letter and leaned back in her chair, tears running silently down her face. Jack wasn't just a man who loved Evelyn deeply. He had given up his happiness so she could live free of the pain of his illness, all the heartbreak, confusion. It didn't need to happen. Anna clenched her fists. Mike hadn't just stolen money. He had stolen the truth. He had taken away Evelyn's chance to grieve Jack's death while knowing he never stopped loving her. Anger bubbled up inside Anna. She couldn't stand by and do nothing. Mike's lies had hurt everyone, especially Evelyn and her child, who had suffered unnecessarily. Anna stood up, her determination growing. She knew what she had to do. Confronting Mike wouldn't be easy, but the truth couldn't stay buried. First, Evelyn needed to know what really happened. She needed to know that Jack never left her, and that everything he did was out of love. Anna paused outside Evelyn's hospital room. Through the door, she could hear the soft hum of machines and the steady beeping of the heart monitor. Max, as always, was lying at the foot of Evelyn's bed, his loyalty unwavering. Anna took a deep breath, gathering the courage to reveal the truth. Opening the door slowly, Anna saw Evelyn's tired eyes meet hers. They showed years of pain, but also a strength that had kept her going. Anna closed the door and walked toward the bed, momentarily hanging in the doorframe, thinking how she had always wanted the bed. She wanted the bed. "I've been with you for a while now, Evelyn," Anna began, her voice shaking slightly. "And you've always been honest with me. Now, it's my turn to be honest with you. I found something I wasn't expecting." Anna pulled the letters from her jacket, holding them as if they were incredibly heavy, before handing them to Evelyn. Confused at first, Evelyn looked at them with fear and curiosity. What are these, Anna?" she asked in a faint voice. "These are letters from Jack," Anna said gently. "Letters he wrote to you, but that never reached you." Evelyn's brow furrowed as her mind struggled to process Anna's words. "Letters? From Jack?" she whispered. Anna nodded and sat beside the bed. "Evelyn, you've always believed Jack left you without looking back, but the truth is much more complicated." With trembling hands, Evelyn opened one of the letters. The words blurred before her eyes as her emotions overwhelmed her. The first line began, "My dearest Evelyn." It was like a voice from the past, stirring emotions she thought she had buried. As Evelyn read, the truth became clear. Jack hadn't left out of selfishness or indifference. He had been sick and dying. To protect her, he chose to face his illness alone, so she wouldn't have to suffer with him. Oh, ja. Oh, he could feel it trailed off of her lips as she reached the end of the letter. Jack had loved her every single day. He had trusted Mike to take care of her, but Mike had betrayed that trust. The letter slipped from Evelyn's lap as she trembled under the weight of the truth. "I can't believe it. All this time, I thought he abandoned me. I thought he didn't care," she whispered. Anna gently squeezed Evelyn's hand. "It was always there for you, Evelyn. Even when you couldn't see it, he did it all out of love." At first, Evelyn's sobs were soft, but soon they turned into uncontrollable cries. Years of buried emotions poured out. Pain, regret, and relief. The walls she had built around her heart crumbled as she faced the truth. When the tears finally stopped, Evelyn wiped her face and said, "I don't know how I'll move forward, but at least now I know he never stopped loving me." Anna nodded. "The truth is hard, Evelyn, but it will help you heal. Jack wanted you and your son to find happiness, no matter what happened to him." With shaky hands, Evelyn opened Jack's final letter. The one he wrote before he died. It was his farewell, full of love, and a wish for her and their son to find peace. As she read, the room grew silent, except for the beeping of the monitor. Once he finished, Evelyn closed her eyes and leaned back, a calmness settling over her. "He was always with us," she whispered. "Even when I didn't know it, he was looking after us." Anna watched silently, her heart full. The truth, though painful, had brought Evelyn a sense of peace she hadn't felt in years. Jack's sacrifice, his love, had always been there, even if it had been hidden. But Anna knew her work wasn't done. Mike's betrayal couldn't go unpunished. She decided to take the letters to the authorities. Each one was proof of Jack's love and of Mike's deceit. Arriving at the police station, Anna handed over the letters, hoping justice would finally be served. The evidence was undeniable. "These letters are enough to start an investigation," the officer said firmly. Anna felt both relief and nervousness. Justice was finally on its way, but she knew the fight wasn't over. Mike was not the type of person to accept defeat easily, especially after years of lies and betrayal. However, Anna was determined to seek justice for Evelyn and clear Jack's name. Shortly after, news came that Mike had been arrested. He tried to deny the accusations, but the evidence against him was strong. The stolen money and hidden letters exposed everything. Anna felt a sense of relief, knowing that justice was being served. At the hospital, Evelyn was slowly recovering. Each day brought her closer to emotional and physical healing. Max, her loyal dog, stayed by her side, offering comfort and a sense of calm. Anna realized Max was more than just a pet. He symbolized Jack's lasting love and devotion. One day, as Anna sat beside Evelyn's bed, Evelyn broke the silence. "I don't know how to thank you, Anna," she said softly. "Without you, I would have never known the truth about Jack." Anna smiled gently. "You don't need to thank me, Evelyn. I just did what I felt was right. Jack deserved for his story to be told, and you deserve to know how much he loved you." Evelyn nodded, tears in her eyes. "For so long I hated him. I thought he had abandoned me. Now I know he never stopped loving us. I just don't know if I can forgive myself for holding on to so much anger." Anna squeezed Evelyn's hand gently. "Jack wouldn't want you to feel guilty. He made his choices out of love. Now it's time for you to move forward and find peace." Evelyn took a deep breath. "I'll try," she said, her voice steady with newfound resolve. Days passed peacefully. The once heavy atmosphere in the hospital gave way to a feeling of calm. Evelyn's face, once marked by pain and sorrow, now carried a sense of acceptance. One afternoon, as the sunlight poured into the room, Evelyn said quietly, "I've been thinking about Jack. I feel like I can finally forgive myself for the anger I held on to. It was hurting me more than anything else." Anna smiled, feeling proud of Evelyn's strength. "That's the best thing you can do, for yourself and for Jack's memory." Max seemed to understand the importance of the moment. He rested his head on Evelyn's lap, his presence a comforting reminder of loyalty and love. "Jack would be happy to see you like this," Anna said. "He always wanted you to be happy." Evelyn nodded, her eyes distant, as if she could feel Jack's presence watching over them. "I'll always remember him," she whispered. "Not as someone who loved me, but as someone who loved me with his whole heart." But Evelyn was discharged from the hospital, and she stepped outside. The fresh air felt like a new beginning. Anna walked beside her, and Max followed closely, as if he, too, understood that a new chapter had begun. Back at Evelyn's house, life felt simpler but more peaceful. Evelyn and Anna spent quiet afternoons together, talking and reflecting on all that had happened. Max ran happily around the garden, his energy a sign that even he felt the changes in their lives. One evening, as the sun set, the three of them sat together on the porch. Evelyn turned to Anna and said, "I don't know what I would have done without you. You've given me so much." Anna smiled warmly. "You've taught me just as much, Evelyn. Your strength and resilience have been inspiring." They sat in peaceful silence, grateful for how far they had come. Max lay at their feet, his quiet presence a reminder of the love and loyalty that had guided them through their darkest times. Anna knew this was just the beginning of her own journey, but for the first time in a long while, she felt ready to face whatever came next. This heart-warming story reminds us of the power of love, sacrifice, and forgiveness. It shows how uncovering the truth can bring healing, and how small acts of loyalty, like those of Max, can make a huge difference. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting stories about human connection and kindness.